As far as challenges go, just like any project or assignment that we want to do well in, you really have to put a lot of time into science fair. It does vary with the nature of your project, but personally I did a project that involved bacteria, and with bacteria, in order to get sufficient data, you really have to put a lot of time, a lot of trials into it. But it does come out well in the end, and it's worth it when you put the time into it. Another challenge I found was sometimes you hit a lot of roadblocks. A lot of times my data didn't work out, or my trials, were unsuccessful. But you really just have to, persevere, and you're a stronger scientist and researcher at the end, having gone through all those roadblocks.
You could definitely hit snags along the way that might make you say, I want to stop doing this. I just don't want to think about it anymore. But there's always ways to work around those snags, and the science fair projects kind of encourage divergent thinking and foster divergent thinking. And so that's the biggest challenge, is the fact that you sometimes don't know where to go next.
Okay, so Science Fair was the first big project that I had undertaken by myself, and coming into high school I was really worried because I had a lot of other things that I wanted to do. I wanted to be involved in athletics and music, so Science Fair really wasn't at like the forefront of my interest. I was really worried that I wouldn't have enough time, so I really worked with my teachers and whatnot to find a schedule that worked for me. I ended up staying after school for a couple, 30, 45 minutes a day. Tried to really pace myself well so that when I got to the end, all the work was done and it was all about putting it all together. So I think if you're worried about time management, I would just say sort of work with your teachers on it. You can do science fair and do sports. You can do science fair and do band. You can do all three. You can do that and other things. So I wouldn't worry about that. But definitely get in touch with your mentors early while you still have time to figure out what you're going to do.
There are definitely going to be a lot of challenges when it happens. There's a lot of time involved. I think that it's very rewarding at the end, but there's definitely a significant time. Also, sometimes you do this great experiment and you're so excited about the results, and sometimes it doesn't always, the data doesn't come out the way that you thought it would, or it doesn't come out at all. And those are some things that can be really frustrating, but I think the most important thing is to look at your experiment and then decide in each step what might have gone wrong and being able to troubleshoot it. And having that kind of persistence is very important, and it will definitely help you no matter what field you go into.
For my partner and I, we had our entire procedure planned out before we went in, and when we went in and actually started testing, we found numerous problems in our procedure. And one of the things I learned is that no matter how well you think you researched before or think you have your procedure planned out, you're going to have setbacks and you're going to find problems in your procedure once you start researching. So as long as you know that going in and you stay on top of your work and you set aside time for knowing that you're going to have setbacks and you're going to have to experiment with all different things to try to get around those setbacks, you'll be fine. But I think that's one of the most exciting things about research in general, is that for so many weeks things might not work out, and then when you finally get it to work out, it's really rewarding in the end.
So when I was doing my science fair project, I had a certain hypothesis that I expected to happen, and actually things didn't work out the way that I had expected, and I was sort of really upset because I wasn't getting the right results. And when I looked back on the results, it ended up that they were meaningful but in a different way. And I think one of the challenges can be that you're not always going to get what you expect, and to just keep moving forward and keep getting data and trying new procedures, because sometimes those are like the results that really make something great happen. What you expect isn't always the best result. What is the result is the best result. So.